Good evening, LOMSAA families. I wanted to send you what may be the last video message that you get from me about the LOMSAA sale. I wanted to start by telling you what an amazing success the sale was. When you look at it from the school's perspective, so many of the goals that we had for the sale, we wonderfully achieved. We took a step of faith, none of us knowing exactly how it was going to turn out, but trusting the Lord to provide, and then asking Him to give us the talents and the other things that we needed to get the job done. I saw such amazing teamwork among the 7th grade families and the 8th grade families and everybody working together, which was one of the major goals that we had for this project. I think we set an amazing example for our kids of what can be accomplished when the body of Christ works together. We had lots of different people with lots of different talents, yet they all found ways to make contributions, and all of it came together to make an amazing experience, both for us, for our shoppers, and for the people at the Senior Center. I can't tell you how many amazing comments I got from people telling me how awesome our kids were, how nice the parents were, and the Senior Center would like to book another event with us immediately. So I take that as a compliment too. I don't know how the finances came out. I actually ended up leaving the sale without knowing what the total sales are, and I haven't been on my email today. What we hope to do is to sort stuff out. We'll need to, of course, pay our sellers where they want to be paid. We'll have to pay our bills, and we did have some expenses for the sale. Beyond the Senior Center, there were expenses for advertising, the copies that were made, some office supplies for the sale, that kind of stuff. But we hope to have an announcement out in the next week or 10 days about where we landed and how it all worked out. I wanted to make sure, though, that you all understand what I found out today. I got some very good news today. I found out that I'm rich. Today, our pastor was finishing up his sermon series in the book of James, and we were looking at the beginning of the 5th chapter, where there are some warnings to people that are rich. He said that most of us don't consider ourselves rich, and so when we see those warnings to the rich, we skip over them. He pointed out, though, that if you make more than $25,000 a year, that you're in the top 10% of wage earners in the entire world. And if you make more than $47,500, you're in the top 1% of the wage earners, that's a year, wage earners in the entire world. It was good to get that perspective because it's easy to look at what we want that we don't have money for in the checkbook and think that we are somehow poor or disadvantaged, but we aren't. We're rich. I would have told you if you'd asked me before that if I was rich, and I would have said yes because I've thought of my husband and kids. But I understand now that in the world economy, God has blessed us tremendously. I don't know how the financials are going to come out. We're going to do everything in a very straightforward and appropriate way. And in the November parent meeting, we'll be sharing exactly what happened. We'll talk about what it took to do the sale, what we were able to make, all those kind of things. And then the 7th grade families will have a chance to decide if it's something that they want to do in the spring, next year, or maybe not at all. It'll be up to them to decide. What I will say, though, that even if you decide not to do a sale like this, I would incredibly encourage you to consider doing some sort of big project that requires some advanced planning and then some involvement from lots of the families on a particular day. Through the process of planning this event, I've gotten to know some of the amazing and precious families that we have at LOMSAA. I hadn't had a chance to interact with them for other things. Our paths don't cross. We may not go to the same churches. Our kids aren't in the same activities. So I didn't know them yet. But I've come to treasure those people and consider them amazing worshipers of God and fellow believers. So I would encourage you all to consider, whatever you do, some sort of event that will pull everybody together like this did, because the spirit of the school, the unified spirit of the school, has been amazing, and everybody noticed that. Whatever happens, we all will continue to trust God here at LOMSAA and see what the next step is for us. Thanks so much for taking this step with me, and I look forward to seeing where God leads us next. Have a great evening, and again, thanks for all your hard work.